Do you know that until your heart is 80% blocked, you may not see a single symptom in your body? Or that the so-called healthy oils in your kitchen might actually be the biggest reason behind heart attacks? And when you discover the real reasons, you will be shocked. This isn't just an accident of fate. According to experienced doctors and heart health experts, most of what we believe about heart attacks is completely wrong. Today, I'll break down the hidden truths about how heart disease really develops, why so many people are misled about treatments, and most importantly, how you can prevent or even reverse heart problems without surgery. The hidden truth about heart attacks. Why symptoms don't show. Until 80% blockage, most people think a heart attack strikes suddenly, out of nowhere. But the truth is, heart disease builds up silently for 10 years or more before any major event happens. Here's what really goes on inside your arteries. Over time, cholesterol and triglycerides begin to deposit along the walls of your coronary arteries. This slowly forms a blockage, but instead of blocking the blood flow immediately, the body covers it with a thin protective layer. As the blockage grows, that protective layer becomes thinner and weaker. Eventually, it cracks or bursts open. The moment it ruptures, your blood immediately tries to heal the wound by forming a clot. But this clot can instantly block the artery 100%, and that's when a heart attack occurs. This is why you don't feel anything until your blockage has already reached 70–80% or more. Even if you go for a routine checkup, your ECG or treadmill test may come back completely normal. In fact, 90% blockage can still show normal results on ECG because it's measured while your body is at rest. TMT also fails to detect blockages below 70%. That's why so many people who felt fine yesterday end up in the hospital today. The damage was building silently for years, and the final rupture was just the last straw. The scary part? This process starts much earlier than we think, sometimes even in your 20s. Poor diet, stress, and lack of exercise speed it up, which is why today we're seeing more heart attacks in people as young as 30 or 40. So the real danger isn't the sudden chest pain. It's the silent buildup happening right now, even when you feel perfectly healthy. How blockages actually form. Cholesterol, triglycerides, plaque, rupture, clot, heart attack. To really understand heart attacks, we need to look at how a blockage actually forms inside your arteries. It all begins with the two biggest culprits, cholesterol and triglycerides. Cholesterol comes only from animal-based foods: meat, eggs, milk, cheese, butter, ghee, all of it. Triglycerides are basically found in every type of oil. Sunflower oil, soybean oil, refined oils, and yes, even ghee. Now, when you consume too much of these, they start to deposit along the artery walls. Over the years, these deposits combine with other substances in the blood and form a sticky layer called plaque. At first, your body tries to protect you by covering this plaque with a thin, delicate layer. But here's the catch. As more fat gets stored, this layer becomes weaker and thinner. One day, due to stress, high blood pressure, or even a sudden exertion, the layer ruptures. It tears apart. The body thinks it's an injury and immediately rushes to fix it by forming a blood clot. But instead of healing, this clot ends up blocking the entire artery within seconds. And that's the exact moment a heart attack strikes. So, heart attacks don't really come suddenly. They are the final chapter of a long story. Years of silent plaque buildup, followed by one rupture that completely shuts down the blood flow to your heart. That's why prevention is so critical. Once a clot forms, time is very limited. The tests. Which work, which don't. CT coronary scan versus ECG and TMT versus angiography. When it comes to detecting heart blockages, most people think of tests like ECG or TMT treadmill test. But here's the shocking truth. These tests often fail to reveal the real danger. Take ECG, for example. Even if you have a 90% blockage, your ECG report can look completely normal. Why? Because the test is done while you're at rest, and it only measures the electrical activity of your heart, not the actual blockages in your arteries. What about the TMT? This one checks how your heart performs under stress. Sounds useful, right? But it has a major flaw. It cannot detect blockages below 70%. That means if you have a 50% or even 60% blockage silently growing inside you, the TMT will still declare you healthy. Now, here's where things get even more complicated. Angiography. In this test, a wire is inserted inside your body to inject dye into the arteries, so blockages show up on an X-ray. Yes, it works, but it's invasive, risky, and often used to push patients toward expensive surgeries. Many people don't even need surgery, but fear is used to convince them otherwise. So what's the best solution? Doctors with real expertise point to the CT coronary scan. It's non-invasive, takes only 5 minutes, and costs around 5,000 to 7,000 rupees. Most importantly, it can detect even a 10% blockage, something no ECG or TMT can do. This means the CT coronary scan is the most accurate, safest, and affordable way to know the true condition of your heart arteries, long before a heart attack strikes. The role of cholesterol and triglycerides. Animal foods versus oils. Now let's uncover the two main villains behind heart blockages: cholesterol and triglycerides. First, cholesterol. Most people don't realize this, but cholesterol comes only from animal-based foods. That means all kinds of meat and fish, eggs, milk and dairy products like butter, cheese, and ghee. Whenever you eat these, cholesterol levels in your blood rise, and that's what sticks to the walls of your arteries, forming dangerous blockages. Next, triglycerides. Here's the shocking truth. All oils are 100% triglycerides. Yes, that includes soybean oil, sunflower oil, mustard oil, even ghee. Oil companies cleverly market their bottles with the label cholesterol-free, making you think it's safe. But they never tell you the real story. Every drop of oil is pure triglycerides, which are just as harmful for your heart. So whether it's healthy refined oil, heart-friendly sunflower oil, or even traditional ghee, your heart doesn't see the difference. All of them fuel triglyceride buildup, which eventually clogs your arteries. Here's the bottom line. Cholesterol, mostly animal foods, triglycerides, mush oils. Together, they're the perfect recipe for heart blockages and, ultimately, heart attacks. The cooking oil myth. Cholesterol-free oils versus 100% triglycerides, zero oil cooking. We've all seen it. Oil bottles in the supermarket proudly labeled cholesterol-free, and many people buy them, thinking these oils are safe for the heart. But here's the shocking truth. All oils are 100% triglycerides. What does that mean? Whether it's soybean oil, sunflower oil, canola oil, mustard oil, or even desi ghee, your heart sees no difference. They're all pure triglycerides, and high triglycerides are one of the biggest culprits behind artery blockages. So when oil companies write cholesterol-free, it's just a marketing trick. Of course, it's cholesterol-free because cholesterol comes only from animal foods. But that doesn't make oils healthy. In fact, triglycerides can be just as harmful as cholesterol when it comes to clogging your arteries. Now here's the good news. You don't actually need oil to make delicious food. Doctors and nutrition experts have shown that you can cook zero-oil meals where the flavor comes from spices, not fat. The trick? Roast your spices dry in a hot pan, use onions, tomatoes, and just a splash of water to cook your curry base. The taste remains the same, sometimes even better, and your heart stays safe. Think about it. You get all the flavor, all the satisfaction, but none of the silent damage oil causes inside your arteries. Would you ever try cooking your favorite dish without a single drop of oil? Or do you think food can't taste good without it? The 5 lifestyle changes to prevent heart attacks. Here's something most people don't realize. You don't need surgery to protect your heart. In fact, studies have proven that simple lifestyle changes can not only prevent heart attacks, but even reverse blockages. Doctors highlight 5 powerful changes that can transform your heart health. 1. Cut out oil and ghee completely. Remember, all oils are 100% triglycerides. Zero oil means zero extra burden on your arteries. 2. Eliminate non-veggie foods. Animal products are the only source of cholesterol, and cholesterol is the building block of plaque. 3. Eat more fresh fruits daily. Fruits provide antioxidants, fiber, and natural sugars that nourish your body without harming your arteries. 4. Walk at least 35 minutes every single day. Walking improves blood circulation, reduces stress, and strengthens your heart muscles. 5. Reduce mental stress. Stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline can trigger plaque rupture, the real cause behind sudden heart attacks. Put these 5 together, and your risk of a heart attack can drop dramatically. More importantly, Research by Dr. Dean Ornish in the US proved that blockages can actually shrink with a low-fat, plant-based lifestyle. Imagine that. Instead of living in fear of surgeries and stents, you could literally heal your arteries by changing what's on your plate and how you live your day. Which of these 5 changes do you think is the hardest to follow? Oil-free cooking, saying no to non-veg, or daily walking? Can heart blockages be reversed? For decades, people believed that once you had a blockage in your heart arteries, it was permanent. Doctors often said blockages can't go away. The only solution is surgery or stents. But now, scientific evidence proves otherwise. Dr. Dean Ornish, a world-renowned cardiologist from the US, conducted landmark studies showing that with the right lifestyle, blockages can not only be stopped, they can actually shrink. His patients followed a low-fat, plant-based diet, engaged in daily exercise like walking and yoga, and managed stress through meditation. Within just months, their artery health improved, and over the years, blockages were visibly reversed. Similarly, Dr. Bimal Chajar, a pioneer in India, has shown the same results. Through his SAAOL Zero Oil lifestyle, thousands of patients avoided bypass surgeries and stents by adopting simple yet powerful changes: zero oil cooking, plant-based eating, regular walking, and stress reduction. The truth is clear. Blockages are not a death sentence. Your body has the power to heal. Food and lifestyle are stronger than surgery. But here's the catch. You need consistency. A few days of healthy eating won't undo years of damage. But if you commit, your arteries can slowly recover, your heart can grow stronger, and your risk of heart attack can drop dramatically. Imagine this. Instead of living in fear, you could look forward to life with confidence, knowing your choices are actively repairing your heart. The dark side of heart treatments. Most people believe doctors always choose the safest, most honest treatment for patients. But when it comes to heart disease, the reality can be shocking. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Fear is the biggest weapon used in the medical industry. Many cardiologists tell their patients lines like, "You are sitting on a time bomb. You may die any moment. If you don't do bypass surgery right now, you won't survive." Imagine hearing this while you or your loved one is already scared. Naturally, patients agree to costly procedures without question. Hospitals push angiography and bypass surgeries, not always because they are needed, but because they generate massive profits. Even today, many people undergo unnecessary surgeries when lifestyle changes could have prevented or even reversed the blockages. Yes, sometimes surgery is genuinely required, but according to experts, over 70% of bypasses and stents are avoidable. The real tragedy? Patients are rarely told about safe alternatives like CT coronary scans, lifestyle medicine, or zero oil cooking. Instead, fear is used to keep the medical business running. So next time, before rushing to the operation table, ask yourself, is this surgery truly necessary, or is there a better way? Do you think hospitals care more about patients' health or profits? Comment below. I want to hear your honest opinion. Why young people are at risk now. Once upon a time, heart attacks were seen as a disease of the old. But today, shocking numbers reveal a new reality. People in their 30s, even 20s, are falling victim to sudden heart attacks. Why is this happening? Experts explain 3 main reasons. Fast food and processed diets. Junk food, loaded with oil, sugar, and refined carbs, is now a daily habit for many young people. These foods accelerate the buildup of cholesterol and triglycerides, causing early blockages. Sedentary lifestyle. Hours of sitting at desks, scrolling on phones, or binge-watching shows means the body is barely moving. Without daily exercise, blood flow slows down, weight increases, and the heart weakens. Chronic stress. The pressure of careers, competition, and financial struggles takes a heavy toll. Stress hormones like cortisol damage blood vessels and speed up plaque formation. The result? Blockages that once took decades to develop are now appearing in young adults. A process that starts at age 20 can already lead to a massive heart attack by the time someone is just 35. This is why we're seeing tragic headlines of seemingly fit young professionals, athletes, and celebrities collapsing without warning. The bottom line, if you're young, don't assume you're safe. Heart disease is no longer an old man's problem. It's silently targeting the youth. And the only way to fight it is by fixing food, lifestyle, and stress management early. Emergency medicines everyone should know. Here's something that could literally save a life. The 3 emergency medicines for a heart attack. According to cardiology experts, there are certain life-saving drugs that can reduce the severity of a heart attack and even prevent sudden death if taken on time. These are not complicated treatments. In fact, they are simple medicines that could be kept at home, in your pocket, or even in your car. But here's the catch. Most people don't know what they are, and by the time they find out, it's already too late. That's why doctors strongly recommend that every family should know these names by heart. Because when seconds matter, knowledge can be the difference between life and death. Want to know exactly what these emergency medicines are, how they work, and when to take them? I'm not revealing them here, because it deserves a full explanation. Do you already know at least one emergency medicine for a heart attack? Comment yes or no below. So, now you know the hidden truth about heart attacks, how blockages silently build for years, why common tests can fail you, how oils and animal foods fuel the problem, and most importantly, how simple lifestyle changes can prevent and even reverse the damage. The good news? Your heart is not a ticking time bomb. With the right knowledge and daily habits, you can protect it, repair it, and live a longer, healthier life without fear. But here's the reality. Most people will ignore these facts until it's too late. Don't be one of them. If you found this video eye-opening, hit the like button, share it with someone you care about, and make sure you subscribe to this channel. Because every week, we bring you powerful, life-saving health insights that you won't find in typical medical advice. Turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Your future self will thank you. And remember, your health is in your hands. Take action today, and your heart will reward you for years to come.